Hello world. In this quick tip, we're going to take a look at one of the best things you can do if you find yourself faced with a ransomware malware infection or a potential infection of some kind. And that is to simply quarantine the host. In the traditional classic, in the old ages, if you will, the dark times, we'd run over to the computer and unplug the NIC. We might go to a wiring closet and disconnect it from that part of, disconnect the wall socket from that part. Or in a more advanced of you may have access to a network management console where you can kill the NIC from there, thus cutting off the infection and potentially limiting it from doing further damage from propagating across your network. It's also good as a potential response in case you're faced with infection in other parts of the network and you want to protect a core system or systems. You could potentially quarantine those hosts as well, all for the benefit of central console. And that's what we're going to do today. And so instead of going through a wiring closet or cabinet or unplugging the cable, we're going to do it through our endpoint security software. In this case, it's Cylance. And as you can see, this sample system, this is just a screenshot from a previous infection we saw. And we can see here that we're doing a continuous ping to Google. So I'm going to switch over to my management system. And what I have here is just a browser open to the Cylance console. You'll notice it's now called Focus. That's the name that Optics got renamed to as part of the acquisition by Arctic Wolf. So it's now Arctic Wolf Endpoint, Aurora Endpoint with Focus. That's Protect and Optics. Protect is the endpoint security and Optics is the EDR tool. And you must have both modules deployed on all your endpoints in order for this to work. So let me go back to my machine and show you that on it I have Protect and Optics, and I have a policy which turns everything on, of course. That's also just as important as having the tools deployed is making sure you have the right policy. So back in the console, let's pretend we've already filtered down. We've gone to the Optics section, filtered down to my system. And if I need to quarantine the system, I can just simply expand the options here and do lockdown device. Now I have a couple options. I can do a full lockdown, which does a complete lockdown, but more likely than not, I want to go to a partial and allow myself the possibility of running some remote commands and diagnostic from the Cylance console. So that's what I recommend doing by default. And once I click confirm, it happens within milliseconds. I click that, I switch back to my screen, and you can see the network's already been disconnected. System's still running. And if I want to go back, let's say I investigate now, I've protected the host, I can confirm, no, this was just a false positive, whatever the scenario is, we can now come back and release the host. Now to do that, go back into the console, go into the details of it, go to action, and unlock device. I'll click confirm unlock, go back to it, and as you can see, the system's release, let's say it was a false positive, nothing matter, we can resume activities normal. So that's it. That's really easy. And I'll go back again and do a lockdown. And you'll notice when I do a full lockdown, I have a time period. So by default, the minimum is 5 minutes. And you can set all the way up to 4 days. If you really had a situation where maybe you had a remote worker and they got an infection, you do a 4-day lockdown. And then let's say they're going to then box up the laptop and ship it back to you, to your central IT for reimaging. That might be a good option to prevent it from being accidentally plugged in, enabled with the network, and bad things happening from there. I'm going to go back and do that partial lockdown again and just point out one other option. So I'm back into partial lockdown. You can see the NIC got disabled. One of my other options in here is I can change the configuration. So now I can come back in and just switch it. Let's say I decided this really is bad. We're going to ship it back now. Let's do a full lockdown for 4 days. And that's it. Now, there are other ways you can do unlocking through a key and enter it in. But for the purpose of this video, just a quick, immediate response. Something bad is happening. Let's protect our systems really fast. Do it this way. And it's a really effective tool. And what's really great about it is it works no matter where you are in the world from access to the console. You can be in a different location. You can be on a boat. You can be in a train, a plane, whatever the case. Well, plane would be tough as long as you have internet. But as long as you've got internet and can reach the console, you can preemptively quarantine one or more hosts and limit the potential damage that malware could be having in your environment. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and unlock it now, return my system to normal, and I will see you in the next, and I will see you in the next video.